Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jules, joined by Josh, and if we're together, it can mean only one thing. It's time for some E3 news, so let's hit that jingle!
What's that? There's news? Oh my gosh! Guess it's time for Jules and Josh!
Brilliant! And we're back in the room, and today we are talking about Cyberpunk, because this game is the thing that hijacked the end of the Microsoft E3 presentation, and it wowed people all over the world. Made by CD Projekt Red, the makers of The Witcher, you know, that game that won all of the awards, and it set people's mouths and eyes and bodies ablazing. And now we have more details, because they had a hands-on demo for some people lucky enough to be at the event.
Lucky buggers.
Bastards. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to go through some of the details that are there so that you can enjoy this too. Isn't that nice, Josh? Our little gift from there. By the way, lovely shirt.
Thank you.
Hashtag nice shirt, Josh.
Lovely.
Let's get that going.
Person. I don't know.
Well, my one's got a cop, and I'm pretty sure he's got a swastika in his
Oh! Brilliant segue, because you're playing as a hired gun in this dystopian city of Night City. That's the first official story detail we got from this behind closed door setting. We don't know much. Your character is called V, and apparently you can, there's a robust character customization option. You aren't just going to be playing as a set character as you were in The Witcher, where you were just Geralt. Obviously, this is an original property by CD Projekt Red themselves.
So they're just going all out with it.
You can choose your gender, you can choose your appearance, you can choose your clothes. You even have it in an apartment that can be upgraded or swapped out for a new one.
I mean,
where
it sounds like GTA 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's a bit different?
I know. Right. I see what you were doing there.
Basically, I mean, the thing that immediately wows me is that I'm glad that they've said that you can create your own character.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing because, again, when it comes to immersive titles like this, I think that that's really important. And to be fair, a lot of people saw the trailer, and the one critique that I think they pointed out was, "Oh, cool, we might be playing as generic white male shaved head."
Yes.
2077. I'm glad that they've done that. So that's fantastic. And it even goes down into the core of the character itself because you can customize them in stats. And I love stats.
Your starting stats are, let me look down for a second, they are strength, constitution, intelligence, reflexes, tech, and cool.
Yes, that's right.
I've heard these are the classic tabletop RPG type things, except tech, obviously.
Yeah, we're not sure how tech would fit into it, but cool would be your charisma, pretty much, I assume, with that.
The interesting thing is these are your starting stats that you can upgrade and stuff, but you don't have starting classes, so you can't say, oh, I want to play as a sniper, a thief, or the general thing you would get when you boot up an RPG. Because this is an RPG, they kept making it clear in when they were talking to developers that this isn't a first-person shooter. This is a first-person RPG with some third-person elements that we'll get to. But yes, the classes are perhaps the most interesting thing.
Now there is that's my one point of contention I can say with it is that they keep stressing it's a first-person RPG, but at the core of it, not many people are saying, oh, it's the shooter/RPG thing that I have a problem with because an RPG can work as a shooter. Yeah. It's the first-person thing that a lot of people have an issue with because of the fact that The Witcher's main thing was getting to look at Geralt reacting to the world around him, getting to him to see him on a horse and stuff like that. But first-person stuff, I'm not 100% sold on because why would I spend all that time making a character if I can't see them?
Well, here's the thing, because it does cut to third person apparently in specific moments. It cuts to third person when you're talking to someone in dialogue and stuff, which is cool. So you get to
I'm happy with that.
See them react, and also you can drive cars in this game. Because we saw that sweet Knight Rider looking thing in the trailer, and you can drive cars. There's a drivable combat as well. So when you're driving an AI character can lean over, take the wheel, you can lean out, start shooting people. That sounds cool. But I don't know whether you can toggle between first person and third person, or whether this is just automatically done when you go into certain situations.
I guess it would make for a very cinematic experience if you wanted to put it that way. But I personally love playing games from a third person perspective because I just like having the freedom of movement and seeing my character in the world rather than being in the world. I guess that's a weird way of saying it, but that's just my personal thing. Let me know if you agree with that.
They did sort of mention that with the first person stuff, they're trying to make it far more immersive. They're calling it they're trying to make it more personal. It wasn't really explained how they're actually doing that, but at least they're trying to sort of retain that intimacy you sort of get when you get to see your character actually react rather than from it's even though you're in their eyes, it's strangely detached when you're in first person. I kind of feel.
But if we are going to get to see them in the dialogue choices, then that would be great. And I assume that if this is anything to go from the developer's previous track history, that we're going to see a lot of choices and sort of things. Because, that does seem to be the core focus of this game. You make what you want out of it. So, have we heard anything more about that?
Well, apparently they kept emphasizing, this is an RPG, your actions do have consequences. Things you do in quests, things you do outside of quests. So the sandbox is called Night City, which is it's a pretty, you know. That is a cyberpunk name, isn't it? Night City.
Stock City.
But yes, everything you do inside this sandbox has consequences, like it did in The Witcher 3.
Okay, cool.
They showed some of that off, but the reports, this all comes from like IGN, Polygon, and stuff like that, who actually saw it and then reported on it. They didn't really explain or go into detail on that, but I mean, we all played The Witcher 3. Like, choices and the consequences in that game were like ridiculous. You could do something in hour 1 that didn't have a knock-on effect until like hour 10, and it just came back and bit you in the ass. But
one of the very few games that I actually feel delivered on their choice system things, like even just inconsequential choices actually did come back to bite you in the ass a bit later on. I enjoyed that. So if they say it's going to happen, I actually believe them. Yeah.
I believe them.
So what we've got here in Cyberpunk is a game that seems to be answering the question that is, do you want to have fun? And yes, I do. And the fact that it comes from a developer with an incredibly good line of games behind them, I am incredibly hyped about this.
Me too. I mean, if I had one complaint about The Witcher 3, and I bloody love The Witcher 3, is that like the way you moved in that world was sort of like a little janky. It took some getting used to. The combat, whilst great, was a little janky. It seems like by going a first-person shooter route, they're trying to sort of make that as good as their RPG elements. You've got wall running now, of course, because this is a futuristic first-person shooter. You've got like stats, like you got like blade arms, I think they mentioned, which is cool.
Like the Mass Effect Omni blade sort of
thing.
It
sounds cool. Yes, in a bit like, you know, like the Deus Ex the
the retractable things.
And like speaking of sort of Deus Ex, they said when you approach missions, you get like obviously different ways to approach them. If you might not be able to get through a certain door if you don't have like a hacking skill. Stuff we've seen, you know, in the genre for quite a while now, but it's nice that it's there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited about this. Any more details we get, we will be sure to pass on to you straight away. Let us know what you think about it down in the comment section below. Are you excited about the game? What type of character are you going to create? Are you going to go for a mohawk, or, as I rock it, pretty bold and proud, you know what I'm saying? Not proud enough to take my hat off under these lights. It's fucking freezing in here.
It's cold, isn't it?
So cold. Anyway, as always, I've been Jules.
I've been Josh.
You've been awesome, and we'll speak to you soon.
Bye.